So this the second part of our lesson is on equations. So we talked about expressions, and expressions do not have an equal sign, and equations do have an equal sign. So that's pretty important to know the difference. An expression is just a smile. An equation says, hey, you know why I'm smiling. I'm drinking my tea as I'm smiling. You know I'm smiling because I have a tea. That's what an equation is, okay? All right, so the only difference with equations and expression is that an equation says this is what it needs to equal. We don't have to solve it. We just know that this is what it equals. So 4 times W is 18. That is tells me that it's going to be an equation. Means that I'm going to have an equal sign. And it's going to be 4 times W. So 4W is 18. I'm not solving it. I don't need to find out what W is. That's all I need to do is write this equation. Yes?
Do you have to put them right next to each other, or
Can you put the... I do not want you using the multiplication sign, because the multiplication sign will now start looking like it's an X, right? So I want you either to be putting them... You got to get used to seeing them this way. You can put a little dot between them so that you know that that dot means multiplication, but you need to have them next to each other, because that's how you're going to be seeing your equations, especially next year. All right. 1/3 the sum of 11 and P. Okay, so sum tells me I'm going to be doing what? Adding. Ooh, this one's like a nice big one. So 1/3 the sum of 11 and P. So we know the sum of 11 and P. This one is this one going to be, does this one have an equal sign to it? Do you see anywhere in there that it tells me that it's any of those keywords? Equals to, is, was. No, so this is just going to be straight up a expression. So it's going to be 1/3 the sum, so 1/3 of the sum of 11 and P. So that's what my expression would look like. Number 5, the product of R and 9 is 45. Is this going to be an expression or an equation? An equation, because it says is. So there's going to be an equal sign. And product tells me I'm going to be doing what? Multiplying. So it's going to be 9 times R is 45. Number 7, the quotient of S and 8. Is it going to be an expression or an equation? Just an expression. And I know that I'm going to be doing what to my two numbers? Dividing S and 8. Number 2, n divided by 7. Is it an expression or an equation? Expression. And what am I going to be doing to them? Dividing n divided by 7. Perfect. 14 is half of G. Is it going to be an expression or an equation? Equation. So I know I'm going to put an equal sign. And we know that 14 is half of G. Six, the difference between 5 and B. Is that an expression or an equation? An equation? I don't see anything that tells me that what it equals, right? It just says, hey, the difference between 5 and B. Do you know what it is? No. So it's just going to be the difference of 5 and B. All right. The quotient of M and 5 plus 9. Is this going to be a equation or expression? Equation. So the quotient of M and 5, so M divided by 5, because it's a quotient, plus 9. So writing an equation is not all that different than writing an expression. The only difference is that it may tell me what the expression is equal to. So what I want you to do,
What if you put parentheses?
go ahead.
And then the 5.
I will not have to do parentheses. I can if I need to visually do that, but my order of operations says I'm going to do m divided by 5 anyways first. So what I want you to do is you're going to fold this in half, like so. You're going to make an anchor tab and glue this into your journal.